What's up, everybody? Welcome to IGN Plays Live. I'm James Duggan. This is Mitchell Saltzman.
What's
and we
up?
have Casey DeFreitas in remotely tuning in into Monster Hunter World. This is the beta for PS4 that you can actually play right now until later today, I understand.
I believe it ends either midnight tonight or just sometime tomorrow.
Yeah, so we are going to be running through all three missions probably, trying to see if we can get any extra goodies. Casey's going to be talking us through some of the more expert parts of the game. She is a series veteran, and yeah, I think we're just going to see what this is all about. To me, this is a really appealing experience as somebody who's not conventionally a Monster Hunter fan. I didn't really dabble on the 3DS. It was too small of a medium to be able to really get into it. But man, the idea that this is coming to PC, any big franchise that moves over to PC, you know me.
Yeah, I feel like Monster Hunter World is going to be a big coming out party for Monster Hunter because it is a franchise that predominantly survived on handhelds. I think there was Monster Hunter Tri, which came out for the Wii or Wii U. Casey, are you there?
She says, "I don't think you guys
can hear me."
Nope, we can hear you now.
There we go. Hey, Alex. Can I get hippo down just a
the
little
beta is going on until 9 a.m. on Tuesday.
9 a.m. on
cool.
Tuesday.
There you go.
Everybody say hi to Casey. All right, so if you're watching at home, you can tune in on YouTube, on Twitch, on IGN. I'll be monitoring all of those chats. You can also tweet at IGN with the hashtag IGN Plays Live, and we'll do our best to answer any questions you have.
So we should say Casey was originally supposed to be in my spot right now.
Yeah, and also Mitch.
Yeah.
You should wait for everyone to be ready for the party so you don't leave without them.
Oh no, I'm sorry.
You're the
You
party
jerk.
leader.
Oh no.
Like.
You big jerk.
So that won't be a problem in the main game because you can join after a quest has already started. But in the beta, if someone leaves without you, I'm not actually sure what happens.
Oh no.
I know you can't leave for a quest after the party leader has left.
All right, we already got some chat action happening on YouTube. Martin says, "Nerds, what's up, bro?" Yeah, it's much better. All right, so you're using the Switch axe here, Mitchell.
Yeah.
Casey and whoever else is in this party is showing off, strutting their stuff with some dope lance action.
Peaches is actually one of our freelancers for Fortnite and being me with the Monster World beta.
Great.
For the full game.
All right, I think guys, we can't start a monster hunt until we do a nice little cheer. So, cheer up.
You also got it.
It's just Mitchell. Everybody watch as Mitchell Saltzman lonely drinks himself to sleep.
Come on, guys, this isn't cool.
On a
Everyone's
Thursday
just
afternoon.
eating.
Look, they're socializing over there. Look, just because you're in the Monster Hunter party doesn't mean that they accept you into their social circle. That's not how it works.
I don't like how this is going already.
All right, so this is your evil hunt master who very, very happily talks you through slaughtering animals.
Yep.
Oh man, that does look good though.
Oh god, video game food in
Even your
2017.
Palico, even your Palico is going to town. Who knows what he's eating? Maybe he's eating another Palico. Nobody can know for sure.
All right.
What did you choose to eat?
I chose the chef
So we got,
special.
Great. So Peaches is using the dual blades, and Sully is using the insect glaive, and I'm using the greatsword.
Insect glaive?
We got a good mix.
Insect glaive.
Yeah.
Was Sully the one doing
It's
all
a
the
very
flips?
technical weapon.
Of course he was. Why do I even imagine that's
There's
not
the
the case?
Jagras right there.
Oh hey, we didn't have to even track it.
All right, so are we on the first hunt here? Is this
First
the Great
hunt,
Jagras?
the
All right.
Great Jagras.
So the Jagras here, getting another monster to go feed his young, but we are going to disallow him from doing that by breaking both of his legs, cutting off his hamstrings, and then eventually executing him in front of his children. But it's a dope fight. So my first experience with Monster Hunter, period, like this is my first experience with the genre. I am amazed at how immersive and I guess emergent the whole space is. It really feels like a lived-in environment. And kind of chasing down a monster through this lush jungle is a really cool experience that I don't know that I've gotten anywhere else in gaming.
Would you say it's what you expected?
I would, but I would say it's more than I expected, especially when I was fighting the Bearoth and this really weird amphibious kind of slithering reptile came out of the water.
Rathalos.
There you go. That's the thing. And it started emergently fighting it on its own, and it really blew me away. I've only had those moments in gaming every once in a while, but Casey, go ahead.
I feel bad for this thing because we just continuously knock it over.
I know, that's how I felt too. So this is my first experience, the first monster I fought, and we'll see here in a minute, it's gonna limp away.
Oh, the poor thing.
Its spine is broken, its will is gone, and it just wants to see its children one more time.
Sully is mounting it right now.
Before it, Sully
I'm just gonna watch this carnage take place. Everyone just watch Sully mount this monster.
Carnage Wake says, wow, 4v1, no
The
fair.
cool thing with the insect glaive is if you hold R2 and it launch you, you'll mount it.
So for those who couldn't hear her, the insect glaive can launch you. Just getting a little bit of breakup there on PSN.
Good job.
Well, we did it.
All right, so that was the first time in Monster Hunter World.
Make sure to press R3.
R3.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So here's a question: if you don't loot it right now, do you just not get this stuff?
In the actual game?
Yeah.
I don't know, Casey. That's a good question.
So you don't get any of this stuff in the game. It transfers
You know-
over.
Well, no, but in the full game. So we're right now in the beta. Obviously, not getting the stuff doesn't really matter.
Right. So
Oh yeah, in the full game, if you don't carve the monster, then you just don't get the stuff.
that's really funny. So the countdown timer, I kept picking up a potion and then dropping it instead of butchering the monster that I just killed. So I didn't get anything, but I guess it doesn't matter because it's beta. All right, let's take some questions here from Twitch, from YouTube. If you got any questions about the beta, if you haven't had time to play it yourself, or if you have played it and have some reactions, let us know.
Real quick, Casey, did you want to do that again? And we maybe won't go after the Jagras right from the start?
You want to check out the world a little bit?
Yeah, let's do some exploration. We have 2 hours.
Okay.
This is a beta. What's amazing about this beta, I think, is that there's so much content in it. If we take our time with it, we can absolutely fill a 2-hour stream. We can try some of the harder monsters. So yeah, let's just do some exploration.
Okay, and the harder monsters should take 20 minutes.
Okay.
Great.
But
Mitchell has left himself logged into his IGN account, and I am flooding the IGN chat with things like, that's right, I like bright colors, and I love playing
Oh, no.
games.
Hey, these are all true things. So at the moment, he hasn't slandered me or anything. All right, I will wait until everyone is ready to go this time. I am sorry, I'm a bad leader,
What
Casey.
camp do you want to start at?
Okay, let's start at, let's do
Ancient Forest sounds.
Ancient Forest Camp. Let's do that.
Okay.
Tyler Velez asks, can you use the glaive like a pole vault?
So you kind of can. There's a move that you use to launch yourself in the air, and they can do a dash. And the great thing about the insect glaive, from what I've seen, and Casey, maybe you can speak more to this, is that it's really the best weapon when it comes to getting on a monster, being able to mount a monster. I don't know if Casey can't speak to that.
I'm sorry.
Did you hear the question?
I did not. It cut out a little bit.
Okay.
Apologies.
So the question was basically, do you think that the insect glaive is one of the best weapons when it comes to mounting monsters? If that's what you want to do.
Yeah, absolutely. It's probably one of the most mobile weapons, so it's really cool. You can go up into the air with R2X, and then you can press X again to dash forward in the air, and you can also use circle to dash forward in the air. But circle ends the animation with a hit. So you can stay up in the air for a very long time, almost infinitely, as long as you have high stamina.
Cool.
Excellent.
So if you get some dash juice, which infinitely fills your stamina,
Dash
which
juice.
isn't available in the beta, you can stay up in the air forever.
Awesome.
Nice.
That's Casey DeFreitas there. Clearly has played Monster Hunter before. Oni Rick on YouTube says, these guys sound like they've never played Monster Hunter before. What gave it away? Was it me saying, I've never played Monster Hunter before, and this is my first interaction with the game? Was it that part, or was it something else? So yes, Mitch
James
has
is
played.
salty.
Mitch has played.
Yeah.
This is my first exposure to the game, and so far I'm really enjoying it.
Yeah, I've played Monster Hunter Tri a decent amount. I'm not gonna say I played like a lot of it. And yeah, like I said before, I didn't really like the idea of playing this kind of game on a handheld. So
Same, though.
Monster Hunter World is right up my alley, and I think it's not just for me. I think for a lot of people, it's going to be a really good entry point.
Oh,
into
I
the
absolutely
series.
agree. I think like the amount of intricacy happening with buffs, with things you can interact with in the world, the crafting system, the loot, the monsters, control of your character, all that I want in a much more fleshed out, easy to control capacity and one that isn't really sacrificing its depth for a technological crutch.
Also,
like
just
on a
look
3DS.
at this game.
Yeah, it does look
Beautiful.
very good.
So if you see where I'm going, I'm actually going to where Rathalos' nest is.
Yeah.
I don't want to fight him right now. Oh, he's flying
Oh,
away.
there he is.
Oh, you guys gonna fight Rathalos?
But,
That was a question.
No, not right now.
Oh,
We
okay.
will.
We'll see how the knight tricks us.
I have a few tricks to share before we try and take on the harder monsters.
It says, Dylan says, yeah, Mitch, you have played a decent amount because this is pre-recorded footage. Oh, your controller's not plugged in.
Oh, that's it.
You got us, man. Conspiracy theory found out.
Sully's doing some fancy insect glaive tricks right now. I can't even, my camera
is he?
can't even keep up.
Where'd he go?
Where'd he go? There he is.
Yeah, I
Okay.
never know where he is.
Do that again, Sully.
Sully Buzz.
Oh, Sully can't hear me.
Dutch Schaefer asks, who the lady that is
Mitchell wants
talking?
you to
That's
do the flip stuff again.
That's Casey DeFreitas. She is one of our IGN
What?
wiki editors, and she is tuning in remotely.
Oh, that's so cool.
In spite of starting
I
to come
didn't
down to
wanna
the
get
cold.
Everyone's sick.
Yeah, she's decided to soldier through and play Monster Hunter.
All right, Casey, what are you doing right here with these gashes?
So I'm collecting some information from them, and it lets you track the monster. The more information you gather, the better your scout flies are, and the better able to track them you are.
But right now, our flies are taking us to which monster?
So whichever last sample that you picked up, or if you have actually run into a monster on the map, you can open up your map with the center touchpad and then select it with R3, and
Right.
then your scout flies will focus on that monster.
Cool. All right, lead the way, Casey. Where should we go?
All right, let's jump down here because it's fun. And who doesn't like vertigo, right?
Vertigo!
Mitchell loves the 2004 U2 hit Vertigo.
Oh,
Yeah.
Actually, I like the one.
Rathalos came after
Is that
that.
the same one as Elevation?
I don't know. Dude.
Elevation!
Oh boy. Let's not talk about singing anymore with Mitchell in the room.
Oh, come on.
Just kidding, man. You have
one of
the
the-
voice of an angel.
Interesting things
Everyone
about
tells
the
me that.
ancient forest is that it's super vertical. There's
Yeah.
so many levels of this, and there's actually the Anjanath behind us, Mitch. If you turn around, it's coming through those that path up there.
Shh. Everyone be quiet.
So are you guys on a timer right now?
Oh no, it's Tommy!
Yeah, there is a 20-minute timer.
You guys just gonna fight that
Do you want
because?
to take it on?
So here's a question: if you
mean,
don't have the quest,
can.
if you don't have the quest to kill a specific monster,
Let's
and you
do
just emergently want to kill the Anjanath, are you still gonna get good loot, or how does that work?
You can still carve it, and you'll get extra rewards at the end. So once you finish a monster in the full game, you not only get to carve it, but you get some extra rewards like money and items and more materials from that monster. And if you monster that isn't the actual quest, you'll get extra rewards in a separate box.
That's
just
great.
For that.
I like that a lot. I'm a big fan of like starting one quest and then kind of ADD going to another. That's how I play. We have a lot of questions about the platforms this game will be coming to. So this is Monster Hunter World is releasing on January 26th of 2018. So that's a little bit more than a month away for PS4 and Xbox One. And it is also coming to PC, but we just do not know the release date, very sadly for me, as that's the platform I'll certainly be playing it on. Hopefully soon, though. Hopefully a month or two after, but I imagine it might be a little while.
So Casey, please correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm gonna attempt to describe the long blade, which is the weapon that I'm using right now. So basically what I'm doing is I'm using triangle attacks to kind of build up a meter that's underneath my blade sharpness, which is that the meter I'm talking about is the red one. And when that meter is full, I can use demon attacks with it, basically, which are much more powerful. And that's kind of like the balance. You're trying to build up a meter and then use that meter to do extra damage.
Yeah.
This game is
And I'm
dope.
gonna be totally honest, I've actually not used the longsword.
Oh.
I use the greatsword, the bow, the lance, and the heavy bowgun are my preferred weapons. And I use the switch axe a little bit, but I'm definitely not that great. Oh, and the hunting horn. Use the hunting horn too.
Well then, if I'm completely wrong, someone in the chat, please correct me.
Oh, I'm sure they will.
Yeah, the longsword actually, its appearance was the same as the greatsword in
Okay.
the original Monster Hunter. and then in the PSP versions, they split them into 2 separate weapons.
I'm gonna try to paralyze this boy.
Carnage Wake wants to know about palicos. Can you control them at all, really? What's the deal with those palicos? Those cute little dudes.
So you can customize your palicos. It's fur color, eyes, ears, a whole bunch of stuff. You can name them, and then you equip them with gear. And depending on what gear they have is how much defense they have and what kind of weapons they use. So you can give it a bow and arrow or a hammer, and then you can also equip it with field moves. For example, you can give it Vigor Wasp Spray, so it'll follow you with a health bubble and heal you, or you can give it something that will cause a flashbang to stun the monster and other things like that. You can't control them, and you can't control their behavior beyond that.
Awesome. By the way, if you want to know more about Monster Hunter, get into the real nitty-gritty, check out our YouTube. Casey, as well as Joe Screbbles, did a fantastic series of videos. My favorite of which is 47 things that were not in previous Monster Hunter games that are, or 47 little details. It's a really well put together piece.
Yes.
What are some of those details?
Recite all 47 in the exact order that you did. Let's focus on a single question here.
All right.
Frostbite77 asks a question that is very near and dear to my heart as a Destiny player right now. It's a very sensitive topic. Does this game have replayability? Is there a grind?
Good question.
There is so much replayability. So, this is so even in the original Monster Hunter, when there was way less content than there is what I'm assuming to be in Monster Hunter World, you want to get the best gear. You want to get all of the gear. You want to be equipped to take on every monster in the best way possible. And some monsters are really great to use the greatsword against, and sometimes they're not. So I might want a lance and a hunting horn and a bow, depending on the situation and the monster I'm fighting. And I'll also want different versions of those weapons to be the best. So, for example, I think Anjanath is weak to certain elements. I think thunder? No, he's weak to water and ice. So I'd want to use a water and ice weapon against Anjanath. So maybe I want a greatsword of all the different elements. So there's a lot of grinding, but you get really cool stuff to show for it. And in Monster Hunter World, I put in, not Monster Hunter World, but the original Monster Hunter for PS2, I put in about 600 hours, and I still didn't have all of the weapons that I
exciting.
wanted.
And what is doubly exciting to me about that is it's not a traditional RPG in the sense that you are getting better gear and then you're able to just completely circumvent fights without any kind of skill. There is a stat progression, but it is all reliant on you still being good and learning in terms of the gameplay, as opposed to something like World of Warcraft where you can just one-shot a level 1 mob once you're level 60.
Ugh.
Exactly. If you were really good, you could go in without any armor at all at a decent weapon and solo an Anjanath, if you were that good. So it really is dependent on skill, and I really like that. And there's a lot of nuances to the weapons in World that weren't present in the previous games. I'm still learning stuff about the greatsword, even though it's been around since the PS2, because there's so many new combos and little moves that change the way it plays. While you're charging a greatsword weapon, with triangle, you can press circle and do a bash, and it actually does KO damage, which can knock down a monster.
Dope. Let's try putting down a health booster. Yeah, we should also mention, once again, we cut off its tail. Nice, I didn't even notice that. It's important to mention that this is a beta, obviously, so basically, in the demo, you get a whole bunch of stuff that's already handed out for you. Your character's already pre-made. You don't really have to worry about collecting items to craft stuff. Whereas that's a huge part of other Monster Hunter games. So.
Oh, are you getting a cough there, Mitchell? You got to get out of here.
Hey! You know what? It's fine. I've had a residual cough.
I can't get sick
for 3 months.
And that's what I've been telling everyone too. You have the beta stalks you with.
Oh, I thought you were talking about my cough.
Knives. Oh no!
She was telling people that I have a residual cough. Don't worry about it.
The beta gives you knives and traps and max potions and things that you otherwise wouldn't have or are kind of hard to get. Max potions are kind of difficult to craft and require a lot of different ingredients.
Oh.
Mitchell getting dunked on by the Anjanath here. Anjanath taking a much larger beating than the Great Jagras.
Yeah, these guys are tough.
As he falls. There we go. That's good timing.
Is the
Oh, jump on him.
4-star boss. The Anjanath is the last thing you fight before one of the main story monsters.
Wow.
So, Casey, talk me through the history of post-launch support with the Monster Hunter series. Is this a game that we can expect to have new monsters or quests patched into after the fact? Or is that just for DLC and expansions?
So, there's free support after every Monster Hunter comes out, and that is in the form of collaborations, for example, like the Capcom Mega Man collaboration or the Horizon Zero Dawn. That will be extra quests that you have to complete in order to unlock certain materials so you can craft those items. So you have totally new missions and totally new gear from that, and that happens quite a lot. And then the producers also hinted that because they can assume that everyone's going to be online, they can have timed live events that only happen for limited time. So for example, like Splatoon Splatfest is only going on for like 2 days, and then there are results after. So they'll have live events like that.
Great.
And they actually just did an interview where they said they're going to add more new monsters. But that is also pretty similar as well. For example, like White Fatalist was a monster that they introduced after Monster Hunter already came out.
Interesting.
In DLC.
Briltolmius says they confirm new monsters coming in patches. That is exciting. It's on Twitch.
Oh, I really want to mount this monster. Next time I gotta try the insect glaive and see if I can do some fun. Ugh, riding. Oh no! Oh,
No!
You fainted. You fainted.
Embarrassing.
Failure.
Embarrassing.
Failure. The Palicos had to wheel you back in on a stretcher, bro. Man. You know, I'm 2 for 2 on my monster hunts. I think that's a
This is the cloth of shame.
cloth of shame.
Gonna
You just
wear
have to
it.
wear it. How are you gonna wear it? Oh, that's beautiful. Kind of like the coach tossed in the towel and now you're wearing it. They're patching back, your eye back together and they're putting like that Vaseline on there. So.
Oh hey, it's running right towards me.
So is the Anjanath? The Anjanath is still injured at this point, but it's recovered a portion of its HP because you guys all fainted, or
Only I fainted.
No.
only
Thanks-
Mitch fainted.
Thanks for making me
okay.
say that.
Never mind. Anyway, everybody else in the party doing great. Mitch Saltzman had a hard time with that tail. The thing looks infected at this point.
So in this area, if we want to get it to run into this tree over here, it'll knock some vines down, and then we can get it trapped in the vines.
That's cool. Yeah, that's one of my favorite things about this game from what I've played so far. Just being able to look at your environment and
see what you can use.
yeah, it's
Hit
not
the
just
tree.
about swords and guns and bows.
There
There
you
you
go.
go.
Okay, now if we get it to come back over here, it'll get caught in these vines.
Yeah, nice.
Vine traps.
Oh,
And then remember, everyone actually has a trap on them. You have a shock trap.
I already used mine. Didn't do anything.
Wow.
I wasted it.
I'm gonna
Did
vamp.
we break it or did we run?
No, he ran away.
So it's still
I
there
just put
somewhere.
one down. Oh,
Yeah.
he's going the other way. Oh, he's limping. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try and throw some paralysis maze at him.
I'm gonna vamp off something Briltolmius said. I don't know what your name, how you pronounce your name, but he said that really is a first for Monster Hunter. They have subspecies and such, or hyper, but this is the first time that there will be a main
Did we get him?
game where you can expect more unique monsters, hopefully some old favorites like Tigrex. I think that's really interesting, and I do think that Monster Hunter kind of has to bring their A game, and even a level of post-launch support that they haven't previously had. Because Monster Hunter World is coming to PS4, Xbox One, and PC, it's a much larger audience. This is a lot of people, including my first experience with the game. So this will kind of set the precedent for whether or not I will be a lifelong fan. I think it's a very important release for them.
Oh.
Sully's
So-
on it again.
So Casey, what options do you have when a monster just starts running away from you? Is it pretty much just
you have
a?
So there's a new item that you can pick up on the ground. It's not something that you can prepare and bring with you, but I think it's called a stinger pod. A slinger torch is what it's called. And you pick that up and you can throw it at the monster and it kind of does a small explosion and it can interrupt their walking and kind of stun them a little bit so you can catch up and then hit them.
Okay.
But there are other items that you can pick up, so there's some slinger torches right here where I'm standing. You guys are going after the monster, it's totally understandable.
Too late.
But,
Oh, that was dope. Nice, well done, man.
There's some other slinger ammo, like red pits, that won't really do anything, but the slinger torch will interrupt its limping away. And you can also throw knives at it, and if someone has long range, like a bow or gun, you can try that as well.
Sure.
Ooh, here's an interesting question. You Ninja says, so there's no extremely, well, I'm going to rephrase this question. Are there extremely rare weapons akin to legendaries in Borderlands, Sulfurious Hand of Ragnaros in World of Warcraft? Can we see some stuff that you stop and stare at that the person actually has it? Is that ever a thing?
Yes, because some of the stuff is just really difficult to get because the monster that you have to kill in order to get its materials are just that difficult. So if you ever see someone like in the original Monster Hunter with like I think it was called Aurora Borealis and dragon armor, I don't remember exactly what it's called, but those were the two different like best armors that you could get in the game, and to get those you had to beat Fatalist multiple times for the dragon armor, and for the Aurora Borealis you had to beat Lao Shun multiple times, and those were both very difficult monsters that would one-shot you with even the best armor on sometimes.
Wow.
So,
Yeah, it's
very
kind of
scary battles.
It's kind of like what you talk about all the time, Duggan on Fireteam Chat. Every piece of gear should tell a story, right?
Yeah, I don't think any series does that better than Monster Hunter. Anytime you see gear, you can tell pretty much from the aesthetic, what you had to go through to get that, or at least part of the story there.
Yes.
And that is something that RPGs are kind of forgetting. Certainly Destiny, but I'm excited to see Monster Hunter World come in and shake up. I've been saying it for the past 6 months or a year, but I think we're about to see an MMO renaissance, and it's not going to be a conventional MMO, but rather these kind of shared world games where you can jump in with 4 players. And Monster Hunter is a series that's been like that for a very long time. And now that it's coming to PC, I think that's a very good thing.
He just keeps running.
Yeah,
he's
it's
gonna
going
sleep.
to its
He's gonna sleep.
final resting place. Oh yeah.
Oh,
let's
wait,
put
I got
some,
something.
I got
something.
barrel downs.
Barrels,
Large
barrels,
barrel
barrels.
downs on its fist.
Hey, Mitchell, Rodimus Prime 29 says, use the whetstone.
Yeah.
Do you think you have to use your whetstone, by the way?
If you're getting, if your sharpness is going down.
Oh my god, you blow it up? Why? You blew it up, you animal.
Is that it?
It's dead.
Yeah, we did it!
We're on a Great Jagras quest though, so we don't get any good fanfare.
You guys also have 0 honor.
I am taking this off. Because I am no longer shamed.
Instead of giving it a clean death by the sword, you put a bunch of explosive barrels around and blew it up. Just.
Well, it did a lot of damage, didn't it?
I do like that the little Jagras kind of all crowd around like, hey, are you guys finished, or can I get in on this? That was awesome to see that you could put a bunch of barrels. Are those just things you prepare, like consumables, Sully going off on the Jagras? Are those consumables, or what's the deal with those?
So yeah, those are consumables that you can create yourself, or you can just purchase when you're in town. And sometimes the blue box at the beginning of the quest, sometimes they'll have those materials for you. But you always have to make more.
Man, I'm getting into this. The more I learn about it, the more exciting this gets to me.
Cooking party?
Cooking party.
Wonderful! Oh, that's right, we can cook.
There we go.
Wait.
Get some.
Hold on.
So the song
Let me get
is
some
a little bit different.
veggie options. The irony, if you were a vegetarian in this world, you'd be outcast and shunned. This is a Jagras.
Oh, I burned it.
There's like a velociraptor-sized Jagras just chilling behind you, like, hey, what are you guys doing? Don't mess it up, man.
I can't actually hear the
Square
music.
to bring it out.
There we go.
Oh no!
Well done.
When it goes da-na, da-na, then you pick it up with circle.
I don't even want
Play
to.
again.
Remember to press R3.
So I love how you just defeated this huge monster, this like
And we failed.
the upper echelon of elite
Bitches.
monster, and you guys
There
like,
you go.
oh no, I failed my family.
Did you press R3, Mitch?
So
Yes.
here's a question: is there a mode where I can just queue up the open world and just go for it, as opposed to having to have a quest?
Yes. In the main Monster Hunter world, there is, and you can just go on and explore and do whatever you want. All of the monsters that naturally inhabit these maps will be there as well, and there are some extra little quests that you can do. I can't remember exactly what they're investigations. So people will ask you to collect a certain amount of mushrooms or to find information on a certain monster, and you can get extra rewards from that as well. So, do you want to do Geratodos and Bareth?
Yeah.
Let's do those, and then we have a request from Sean and Jump on Twitch. Will you guys go for the Diablos?
The Diablos, my mortal enemy. I tried so many times this weekend to try to solo Diablos, and I made it limp. I made it go back and sleep at its lair. And I couldn't finish it off.
Fool! Diablo is only gets stronger when he appears to be weak. My Deckard Cain is going to be on 110% when you guys fight Diablo. Diablos!
So hey Mitch, before we go on this hunt, since we're only gonna have 20 minutes to kill 2 monsters, I'm gonna tell you a armor build to increase your attack as much as possible.
Let me have it.
Take notes, folks.
All right. So you want to use the Anja headgear, the hunter's armor, the feathered gloves. Actually, the gloves don't really matter. Just pick whatever you want. I just picked the feathered gloves because it lowers the amount of time it takes to use potions.
Feathered gloves it is.
And the Anja folds, and then the ingot leggings. And the ingot leggings don't have attack up.
Man, you are a patchwork monstrosity right now.
Casey, I'm sure the functionality is great, but Fashion Souls is not strong right now.
The aesthetic is terrible.
No, it looks terrible, but it's real good.
Oh.
And then you want to make sure you have the attack charm on. And the mantle, it doesn't really matter, but I like bringing the Rocksteady mantle because it just increases your defense while it's on.
Sweet. Hey, let's go around and introduce everybody again. We had a question here. Who is talking? That is Casey DeFreitas. She is our wiki editor, and she is our Monster Hunter expert. Could not be with us today due to just a little bit of a cold, a winter cold. I'm James Duggan, and this is Mitch Saltzman. But she is with us in spirit and remotely, which is exciting to talk us through some of the more intricate parts of the game.
Do we have any requests on weapons?
Yeah.
Actually, I'm gonna change my equipment. I'm gonna use a hunting horn. Or for the buffs. And I'm starting in 1 because Rathalos is usually in the swamps right next to area 1.
Okay. I'm just gonna go with.
No. Do the double swords. There we go.
The hatchets.
Hatchets.
These are my favorites.
Give me those hatchets.
Oh yeah. All right. What can't you said we were gonna start at 1?
Mhm.
All right. We ready?
I think Rathalos is usually around 1.
Let's do it.
Oh, we have Charge Blade, Insect Glaive, use Sword and Shield.
Oh,
unfortunately,
next
none
time.
of those are the hatchets, but we'll use some of those next time. That comes from Sean Tsubaki and then Chocobo Kid. The Chocobo Kid just sounds like a superhero apprentice. I love him.
The Chocobo Kid.
It's me, the Chocobo Kid. I'm so happy you could be here. Use the fun, Lance. We got a comment from Old Grimy, living up to his name in all caps. This looks boring.
It's actually not.
To each his own.
You're boring.
Whoa! Shots fired.
Casey with the sick burn. I'm gonna try the veggie platter. I usually get a bunch of meat.
Pelagia says, James, how bummed is Destin about Destiny 2 DLC? I think we're all pretty bummed. Even some.
What would you say is the most bummed of Fireteam chat?
Oh, absolutely, 110% CJ. Because CJ, like the thing is, like Destiny 2 is in a terrible place, and then I'm like, all right, sweet, I'll play PUBG, I'll play Rainbow Six Siege. I have other games that just got updated that I really want to play anyway. And I played PUBG's new desert map last night for like 8 hours and loved it. It's fantastic. But CJ does not have that. CJ just plays Destiny. So when Destiny is down, CJ is down. And he sits next to me, and I'll just be at my computer working, and I'll just hear, oh man, and I'm like, what? I look over there like somebody broke his kneecaps or something, and he's just whining about Destiny. But it's in a tough spot right now. I think Destiny 2 either needs a Final Fantasy 14 Realm Reborn treatment, or just stop playing until the next expansion, because it's so frustrating because they figured all this stuff out. They've already learned these lessons, so to see them not apply that again, especially on a DLC, it's just very tone deaf. And at this point, I'm done. I'm good. But anyway,
that's our Destiny thought for the entire stream.
On to games that we're excited about. Monster Hunter World here is looking quite promising and quite fun.
Yeah, so we're kind of just passing up a bunch of the tracking stuff. I imagine it's because Sully knows where he's going. But usually we'd have to check those out and then get guided by the flies to kind of find.
There it is.
Where
is that the dude?
What we're going for?
That's the guy who interrupted my Barroth kill.
Oh, man.
He's creepy.
I haven't seen this guy yet, actually.
Otter
Geratotus.
Poet says apparently the veggie platter is made of meat. XD.
Yeah.
Story of my life, dude.
Geratotus is weak to fire and thunder and causes water blight. So if you see your stamina turn blue,
Hey, look at that.
you
My
wanna
stamina's
use a
blue.
Nullberry. Use a Nullberry and its stamina will go back to normal.
Work your way through that disgustingly complicated radial menu and find the mulberry. There you go.
I feel like,
So here's a question. Do I have to use these radial menus if I have a keyboard? Or can I just like hotkey that to 5 or 6 or have it on one of my 12
I've
mouse
never
buttons?
played Monster Hunter on a PC, so I have no idea.
Boy, I better be able to use my MMO mouse with 12 buttons on it plus the keyboard or I'm going to be a real salty boy. Though I guess this is a game that you probably want a controller with. I don't know. It's probably personal preference at some point, but...
whoop.
Man, the visual fidelity on this, like, especially the glistening, I quite enjoy. It's not the best looking game I've ever seen in my life, but man, it has the style and it goes with it, and I think it executes it very well.
For sure. One of the things I really like about Monster Hunter is that every weapon type that you pick, they're so different. They're just so different. They all come with their own unique moves. They have their own range that they're really good at. And you can't just use the dual blades like you would, a longsword or anything else. And you can say that about a lot of games, I guess. But you just gotta feel the difference in Monster Hunter. I would liken it to all the different weapon classes are kind of like a different character in a fighting game.
I thought you were gonna say Dark Souls.
No,
I would liken it to Dark Souls. I would. I think when you add Monster Hunter to Cuphead, you get Dark Souls. I'm just kidding. Let's take a question from
James Duggan.
The soulless one. Will playing with friends increase the health of the monster? Casey, we go to our reporter in the field.
What was the question?
Question is, will playing with friends increase the health of monsters?
Yes.
Yes.
There's only 2 difficulties. It's either single player or multiplayer. Whether you have 2 or 4, at least for the beta, it doesn't change the monster. Also, if you start a multiplayer quest and then get disconnected or the other people leave because they're mean, the monsters will still stay the same. They'll still say the multiplayer difficulty. So
so you can really grief folks.
Yes, absolutely. Because if you start a Diablos multiplayer quest with 4 people and then they leave, you really don't have a very high chance of beating that thing unless you're really, really, really good.
We have a question here from Reppin' Knight. IGN, what's the word on the PC version? What is the word on the PC version? When is that sucker coming out?
No one knows.
Nope, there you go.
No love for the PC version, as per the usual.
It's gonna rain!
All right. Is Casey streaming? Says JP Shot. No, but she should be.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I don't.
You're stuck with me.
This is a really crazy opinion to have in 2017. But when I get home from work, I like to just play games and not stream and just be with my friends and not have to worry about an audience. It sounds insane, but it's how I feel.
I also usually curse a lot when I play Monster Hunter, and it's really bad.
That's just part of it. That's part of the fun.
I'm not doing that right now.
Maybe I'll.
Especially trying to solo Rathalos.
Oof. Who would you say is harder, Casey? Rathalos or Diablos? I'm gonna pose this question in chat also. Who do you think is harder?
Rathalos is definitely more annoying because it stays in the air and it flies around a lot, and trying to find it in the ancient forest without knowing a place like in the back of your hand is almost impossible, and the scout flies often lead you awry, and sometimes you just don't know where it is and you'll run out of time because it won't stop flying. Oh, is it sleeping?
Oh, we have a unanimous.
Oh, cool.
Oh, we killed it.
It's sleeping.
No, we killed it.
Oh, no, we killed it. Okay, cool.
I just wasted a trap.
That was so grim as Mitchell removes its liver. It's sleeping. It's not going to have this when it wakes up.
Okay.
We have.
Let's find Barrow.
We have a consensus while you guys are finding Barrow. Diablos, from everybody in Twitch chat, says is harder.
Yeah, Diablos has more health and its attacks do more. It's just Rathalos is annoying to fight.
YouTube as well. So it's unanimous, Diablo.
So I won't make the comparison that everyone hates, but I will say that to me, Diablos feels like a Dark Souls boss. Like the way I fought that boss in a solo capacity, it felt like I was fighting a dragon from Dark Souls.
Yeah,
Just because like trying to I'm lost here, by the way.
Diablos.
Hold on. Where are you guys? Oh, you're all.
That's what I say. Whenever I get into a good game of PUBG, it's just Dark Souls, dude.
Yeah.
Cuphead, it's Dark Souls. Destiny, Dark Souls.
I mean, I'm not gonna say that Monster Hunter is the Dark Souls of monster hunting games.
But you just did.
No, I'm
Mitchell
just saying,
Saltzman,
there was
2017.
one boss battle. Let me be clear. There was one boss battle that I was like, wow, this feels like a Dark Souls fight. Where are you guys?
Praise the sun, bro.
I'm an 8.
Are we looking at this guy in the in 8?
Have you guys found the Pukey Pukey? What the heck is that?
I think that's a bird monster, right?
Oh, look at that guy.
The
Look at this guy.
chameleon.
Bye,
And
bird.
it's not available in the beta.
Not available in the beta. So that's actually a good segue into this other question somebody had, Casey, which is how many, let me see if I can find. There we go. WTF Pigeons asks, how many monsters on launch day?
All of them?
All of them.
Ridiculous.
You'll get all the monsters. You can ballpark it for me, like 10, 15?
Way more than
A
that.
lot.
A lot more than
Yeah.
that. More than 10, 15.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
If you're counting just big monsters, I don't know, maybe 20?
Maybe 20. If you're counting only big monsters, word is still out, though. I'm sure that is also embargoed information.
Hey,
Yeah,
Shadow of
we don't
Colossus
know.
only had 16, so it's not bad.
So 16
And
is all you
that's
need. in
not
Shadow of the
counting the small monsters.
Yeah, I'm following you, Casey. So are we going after
I know
Barroth
where
right
I'm
now?
going. Yes, I went to where it usually is, and
Yeah.
oh, I see it.
Oh yeah,
I found
he's
it.
usually hanging out over here.
Yep.
Oh, I'm gonna try to jump on it.
Yeah. Me too.
I want to jump on it.
I missed.
All right, wait for it
Aw.
to go on. Come on.
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
Oh!
Oh, Dark
Yeah,
Souls.
there it is.
There's the Dark Souls. Anytime I'm going to try and get.
This is Dragon's
do a new
Dogma,
game.
actually.
That was well done. It looked like you didn't hit it to me. It looked like that was a little forgiving, but anyway.
Well, thanks. You shouldn't have even gotten it.
Pelagius asks, any coverage of the Path of Exile update? Yeah, we do. We have 2 videos up on Path of Exile War for the Atlas. Excellent game if you're into ARPGs and haven't heard of it, and you're looking for a good game that has a superb endgame grind that is really clever with its design, trying a lot of new stuff. Check out Path of Exile.
Also, what's up, Pill? Phil's a good friend of mine.
Cyborg Man asks, James, do you still lift? I don't know, dude. You be the judge.
This guy was just doing pull-ups in the office, and I had someone around my desk, and they were like, "Is James doing pull-ups?" Like, yep,
Is that
that's
even
James
a question you
Duggan.
need to ask? I don't know. I am a vegetarian now, so I feel like all my mass is just gone. But, whatever.
Well, you gotta work on it when you can.
Yep.
Oh no.
Goodbye, mass.
Whew.
I'm going to take some questions here from YouTube. Are there any little, James Fernandez asks, are there any little monsters that you find annoying to fight?
I haven't really fought any little monsters in this beta.
What is it? Sir Sharp says IGN game
It's
testers
freaking-
can't even get past the tutorial.
I looked it up. I'm sorry.
What?
Number one, what is an IGN game tester? It's like, do we have a QA team somewhere that is testing games and like giving feedback to the developers? And number two, I'm pretty sure we all can get past the tutorial,
Yeah.
but hey. IGN game tester division. Our secret QA team.
Living.
Freelance for any developer who needs to QA their game.
Always on it.
Oh, dang.
Silly
Also
doing work as
remember
per the
to
usual.
use- Also,
What should I do here? I'll
There was,
try
a
to.
dung, there was a dung beetle.
A dung beetle. Where?
Look at it go.
Oh, look at that.
Oh, look at that little guy.
I'm gonna take it.
Oh my god, you're a jerk.
I'm gonna take its
dude.
dung, put it in my pocket, and throw it at someone.
What a jerk.
so the area we're going to now, the Diablos is right below us. So if we make too much noise, it'll come up and wreck everyone's day.
Oh,
So just
no.
keep that in mind.
Someone should definitely not do that. Definitely.
If you want to call the Diablos out on purpose, you can just throw slinger arrow ammo at the winged drakes up above it, and the noise will attract him. So if you want to get Barrows in this hole and then shoot these things, Diablos will come out and hurt the Barrows, and Barrows will fall down below and it'll do some damage to him.
Wow. Pro tips here.
Ow.
It's amazing to me all the different fights, how they kind of like interact with one another.
We got
They're in the same area.
Someone got his tail. Good job.
Also, the skybox is beautiful, if I may.
Yeah.
It's a very good.
I would say in general, this game is just gorgeous.
Oh, he's gonna do a booty stomp. Careful.
Casey, do you know with the dual daggers how to do that cool little like jumping slash thing?
I do not. It's not one of my weapons of choice. I apologize.
Space Case JLP. Oh, go ahead, Casey.
There are 14 weapons, so
14.
and
Count them.
a lot of them take a lot of time and effort to get to know well enough to be very comfortable with them.
We have a question here for Casey from. Oh boy, I lost it. Space Case JLP says, "How big is the world, and are there any other worlds you can go to? Like, how large is this map when you compare it to some other open world RPGs?"
There it is. There's that map.
So
Is this
all
the
of the
only
maps
zone?
are separated.
There's 2 zones
They're
in
way
this beta.
bigger. Yeah, they're way bigger than the previous Monster Hunters. Sorry, I was just getting charged at by a barrel.
No worries, no
Well,
worries.
I was trying to dance and give everyone buffs, but they're a lot bigger, and there are going to be a lot of different areas. So far, only 4 of them have been revealed, and that's the Ancient Forest, the Wildfire Waste, the Coral Highlands, and the Rotten Vale. And usually there are quite a few more than that in each Monster Hunter. And these worlds get really big, and even in the beta, even though I had played 12 hours of the
Oh, there
first
it
12
is.
hours of the game, I went to places in the beta I'd never been to before in the Ancient Forest.
That's exciting.
So
And also, to my understanding, it's a big. There you go.
we did it.
Defeating the Barrow. To my
Agreed.
understanding, it's a big improvement that monsters will actually follow you in between smaller zones.
I feel like they did do that in the past, but what is different is there used to be like a loading between going into a different zone, and now it's just completely
Yeah.
seamless.
And that's one of the reasons why they made it so you can walk and run while drinking a potion, because there's really no safe place to go, because the monster can follow you anywhere.
I like that a lot. That's fantastic. Question here from Pelagius James. You finished in the top 45, 48 in the half-hour-long PUBG. Any comment? Not my finest moment. I got 2 chicken dinners last night and 4 the previous night, but yeah, it hurts when you see yourself dying and you're not aimed down ADSing. You're just like, what was I thinking?
Especially because you opened that video with
Leroy!
no, you were like, "Hey guys, James Duggan here, out to prove that IGN doesn't suck at games."
That's true. Well, hey, anytime you say that, you're bound to fail.
Yep.
It's just the way the world
So
works.
Mitch,
What's up, Casey?
do you want to fight Diablos?
Oh, my eternal rival.
Diablos!
Yes, I do. I do want to fight Diablos.
Okay.
And I know we had requests for weapons, but I'm gonna stick with the dual daggers because I'm comfortable with them,
Okay.
and I don't want to be a dead weight.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to use the hunting horn because I feel like the buffs were very useful in staying alive, and Sully is going to use the steel axe because it has the ice element, and Diablos is weak to ice.
Let's do it.
And
Dope
Peaches,
strats.
All right.
To Sabaki, I don't really know how to pronounce your name, but he's saying there are support roles like Gunner or Hunter Horn, but not healers. So talk us through the different archetypes. Obviously, there's some like straight up huge DPS things, but there are a little bit more intricacies like elemental effects and buffs with the Hunter Horn, correct?
So basically, there are heavy weapons, light weapons, and technical weapons. And light weapons are like dual blades and the longsword, and heavy weapons will be things like the greatsword and the hammer. And technical weapons take a little bit more finesse, so like the insect glaive and the charge blade, the hunting horn, the bow. Those require a little bit more thought to your combos. Like the charge blade is incredibly complicated. Like I was trying to get the hang of it. It's one of the newer weapons, and there's a lot that goes into it. And the hunting horn requires you to play notes, and it's become a lot easier in Monster Hunter World. The hunting horn, you have the list of combos on the top right of the screen, which you can turn off if you want to, but it's really useful if you haven't memorized those notes yet. And the hunting horn, every hunting horn has a different set of notes. Oh, I don't know if I went to the right camp for this.
It's all right. We got
I'll
fast
tell you
travel.
guys in a second.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, we do have fast travel now.
Take us back to the tower.
So,
All right.
no,
Chef
we can
choice.
just fast travel over to
Northeastern, right?
15. Yes, Northeast Camp 15. And then I would personally eat to up your defense because Diablos hits really hard and really fast. So
What's
health
up?
or defense.
Why
would
does this
probably
chicken have
be
2 extra
good.
legs? Are those 2 legs from another chicken? I'm confused.
I'm confused that a veggie platter brings
It's
out a
pure
chicken.
meat. It's pure meat. Yeah, I think this game probably has the best looking meat of any game. Like
Final
It's
Fantasy
really good.
15 is pretty good.
it makes me want to not be a vegetarian anymore.
All right. I'm gonna pick up some bright moss.
Everybody's got their preferences for their weapon. Big Red says dual blades and gun lance are my jam.
Gun lance is pretty cool.
SimKid says switch axe is one of the best picks. That's cool. It's exciting to hear that.
It's really good.
The one I think the most interesting thing about these cooperative PvE based games that don't necessarily care about the most optimal loadout all of the time. Oh man, this guy
Let's
looks
see
mean.
if I can get him to charge into this wall.
Is that there's a big variance there. But is this Diablo?
Diablo! Stay a while and listen.
He kind of looks like a Triceratops, but with wings. Your evil presence at Tristram has not gone unnoticed, Diablos.
Run away!
Oh, shit!
Whoa, Casey, language!
Sorry!
He's stuck. Oh, no, he's not.
Let me get a shout out one time on Twitch and YouTube for Casey, unable to control her.
I was over here just doing my songs to give everyone buffs, and it just
playing your
comes straight
song.
out of the ground. And since I'm
Yeah,
in the
it's-
middle of dancing, I can't dodge.
That's a
So
focus
I'm
the
kinda
healer
taken by
strat.
surprise.
Oh,
Yeah.
You must use your heraldric blades and thrust them into Diablo's terrible scales.
oh man.
Ah.
So one interesting
It's
thing that I've
hard.
noticed that I had to get used to in this game, you kind of have to put your weapon away if you want to do a real good dodge.
Yes, get away. Yeah. And be facing away from the monster. I'm stunned. Alright.
It's good dodge.
Oh man, the party not looking great here in terms of its HP.
So I want to blind it. Oh boy!
Man, this looks tough.
Yeah, that would be good. Oh, crap.
All right,
There you
blinded
go.
it.
That was great. Good job. I can't believe they killed Deckard
Still
Cain.
mad.
Spoilers.
Spoiler warning.
The perhaps the only redeeming character in all of Diablo. Dead forever. Killed
Gotta
by
get out.
some butterfly lady. I did a tour of the Blizzard offices one time, and we walked past the Diablo team, and there was the writer's room, and one of the guys on the tour, who was from another site, pointed, and he was like, "You see that room? It's where they killed Deckard Cain." I don't think that death was befitting of the legend that Deckard Cain
So,
was.
there is another stack of these things called the Easy Screamer Pods in the box. And it works like Sonic Bombs did in the other Monster Hunter games. So when it goes underground, you throw the Screamer Pod and it'll make it come back up out of the ground and get stuck. But you have to have your weapon put away in order to use it.
That's good to know. What happened?
Blair Herder watching thinks that was a Sean Connery impression. Deckard Cain, Blair. Well, I guess maybe he was played by Sean Connery. They're pretty similar, actually, now that I think about it.
Man, Casey, if we do this, I am clipping this out.
Diablos.
Oh hey,
I knew that.
it's tired, so get some hits in on it.
Go, 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 go. It is no longer tired.
Oh no.
We got a comment here from Kanse Kajes, who
What's up,
says,
Kanse?
Mitch,
Oh.
the more you fight each monster, the better you get at predicting their movements. In other words, and this is my very
Oh, it's going
short
up.
summation of what he said, get good. what he was saying.
What? I thought you were saying you are very good at adapting to this monster's
No.
tricky moves, and you are very skillful.
He's definitely paraphrasing that you need more practice,
Oh, okay.
is what's happening.
Well, agree to disagree.
I need to get my buffs off again.
Oh, I should probably whetstone it up.
Yeah.
Alejandro says, I hate Diablos so much. He gave me a really hard time in Monster Hunter Freedom, Unite, and Monster Hunter 3, both on PSP. So a lot of history there with these monsters. And that's got to be a really interesting part of the series for series veterans who get to come back and see their favorite monster in a completely different incarnation. Casey, are the movesets generally the same across different games, or do you get completely different abilities?
Let's put some traps around here.
They're kind of they're similar enough, but there are a lot of new moves and combos to learn. Oof.
Where's he going? Oh, I'm gonna get him. Oh.
Oh no.
Sully's got him.
Good.
Man, I didn't know Sully was so good at Monster Hunter. He's just showing off. Look at him up there. Giving him the biz. Mitch going for the hamstrings. It's a good strat. So Diablos has moved into the open world here. Does that mean you've basically advanced it in terms of a
that's good
phase?
damage.
Or is maybe there just a time thing that is kind of like progressing him along?
So you'd never really know why. The time that we beat Diablos over the weekend, he never came up here. He stayed in 2 areas underground. So it's kind of intuitive and random.
Oh wow, that's really exciting to hear.
Yeah.
I was digging a hole. See you later.
I would say there's probably
I
like
got him
4
out of
places
trap.
that he goes to. But yeah, it is.
Yeah, you'll kind of know the areas that he goes to, like, eventually. Like, every monster has preferred areas to go to. But you
He's
don't
down.
really, they don't really, oh, it's sleeping. Oh, it's back up. Oh, Sully's on it.
Is that a thing in Monster Hunter? They sleep?
Oh yeah.
What? Why?
So
They go back and they get tired.
But just in the middle of combat, they're
right
just like,
now,
No, not usually in the middle of combat. Oh.
so the hunting horn I'm using has sleep element to it. So if
I
I
didn't
hit
know
it
that.
enough times, that has a chance to sleep.
interesting. Can you get like a party CC build going? Is that kind of a thing you could all build together? And
Yes.
do those things stack?
Yeah.
Is there some kind of diminishing returns for those?
Oh.
Slammed.
They don't stack a lot. So you're either gonna have like attack up small, attack up large, but oh no.
Oh, no,
I think
Casey!
bad.
The fancy stream wants me to ask you, Casey, if you play with damage numbers turned on. He knows that some old fans don't care for them.
So I do now, just because I'm curious in how different the weapons are, and I like to be technical about my
He's
choices.
going back. I think he's going back to his.
Yeah, so for now, but it's something that I'm probably going to turn off eventually, because you know what? It doesn't really matter all that much. You're just going to use the weapon you like using.
Yep.
And that's kind of more of the player that I'm into. I know, like, I wouldn't.
Jackson Marley on YouTube claims IGN hates Kingdom Hearts. Confirmed. If you ask
Tell that
anybody,
to Jonathan Dornbush.
especially Marty Sleeve and Jonathan Dorbush, those guys hate Kingdom Hearts. I don't get it. I think it's pretty good, but you know, whatever.
Sorry, guys, I went the wrong way.
Separating the
Yeah, I
party.
traveled to the wrong camp. I don't know if we're going to do it this time.
Oh no.
All right. Well, we do have another hour.
There it is.
Boy, you were really conserving your strength there, Mitch. A nice calm saunter over to the monster.
I don't know if I like what you're implying, James.
Saying, step it up. Aaron Brewer says, I thought I'd hate the damage numbers, but they're actually not bad at all. That's kind of how I feel. You, in games like this, you kind of stop seeing them unless there's a really big one, and then that's a good metric. Like, they totally justify things. Same thing with like a DPS meter, which no game wants to put in because then they have to balance everything perfectly. But, boy, there is nothing better than giving people a sense of competition in a cooperative PvE environment than showing how much damage everybody has done. And I would actually love that for a game like this, even though it's not really in the spirit of the game, I feel.
Oh boy. Ah.
Got his horn.
You Ninja asked a very complicated question. How does IGN pick the people who review the games? How do they keep them from being biased? One of my favorite professors of all time told me there is no such thing as an unbiased thought or opinion. Everything has some level of bias, but you have to try and be objective when you're reviewing a game. But your own personal subjective feelings are often...
Oh, Bareth is here.
Oh boy. Yeah, there he is. The metric through which you view something. It picks reviewers based on availability, experience with the genre, and interest. Normally, our executive reviews editor will... Oh, wow.
This is awesome, isn't it?
This is awesome. He'll never pick somebody that doesn't like a genre of a game. Like, if you don't like shooters, we're not going to have you review X shooter, you know. But also, it is a resource thing at some point. Reviews take a very long time. And that's why things like second opinions are very difficult to happen, because you're basically doubling the time investment for a review. But I still think it's worth it. There's certainly dissenting opinions in IGN about reviews and how to do them, but it's something we're always open to feedback, so keep the feedback rolling. Mitch knows how to belly flop. So Casey, can I ask, when a Barroth shows up, is it generally always a boon that, or is it sometimes a complication?
It's sometimes a complication, because having two monsters is always more difficult, because then you have to pay attention to two monsters on the screen, and Diablos is already fast and hard-hitting, so a Diablos can hit you, and the Barroth can hit you right after, and you'll go down.
Oh, dang it!
No.
It's the second feint. When he gets to 3, he has to drink this entire gallon of strawberry milk. No, I'm just kidding.
That hip check.
Shauna Jump says, Mitch doesn't know how to heal, though.
I do know how. I have 3 mega potions left. Don't know how to heal. Trying to conserve.
Whatever.
Mitch knows how to heal too much.
IGN get dedicated VR reviewers who don't get sick.
I feel like Dan's pretty good at...
That's actually a really interesting filter for people
John Wright doesn't get sick.
getting motion sick. That's, I mean, like, half of people are just going to have that. So, that is the great filter for whether VR will be a hit or not, like a serious hit. But it's also a cool design constraint.
He's leaving.
He's leaving.
All right, is that a white flag for us? Or is he...
Nope.
Oh, you're chasing him.
Chasing him.
Great.
He's going back to his lair.
Man, sliding is just the best.
Isn't it?
Yeah,
Every game should
really
have sliding. Is this on PS4 or PS4 Pro right now? What are we? We're on a PS4 Pro right now. Correct?
Yeah, we're on PS4 Pro.
Casey, you did a preview. Did you notice an FPS disparity between them, or performance, or what's the deal there?
All right, he's paralyzed.
Did you only get experience on one platform?
I played on PlayStation Pro and PlayStation, and it definitely, the colors look better on the PS Pro, but I'm not getting like a huge quality dip in the regular PlayStation that I wouldn't want to play or anything, you know?
Yeah, I think people are who aren't
It still looks good.
He's paralyzed again.
Folks who aren't necessarily super familiar with like gaming hardware think that there's going to be a massive performance improvement on a PS4 to a PS4 Pro or an Xbox One to an Xbox One X, but actually it's pretty marginal. When you talk about something like taking a GTX 7 series and upping to a 10 series, like that is a massive improvement for PC gaming. But we're living in a very interesting time where I think it's getting harder to release games on consoles.
All right, guys, get those barrels ready.
What's the timer? Do you get to see a timer, or does it just kind of tell you? Or
We've had our 5-minute mark. We have to look at the quest info, and that takes too much time, so we're just gonna go for it.
I like that.
He's sleeping. Cool. Yeah.
Barrels.
Let me take a nap 30 feet away from where I was just getting massacred.
Go, 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 go.
All right. Ooh.
Nice.
Oh no. The ones at his face didn't blow up. Got his horn.
Anyone have any more, like, paralyzed knives or anything?
I do. Oh shit.
Boy, I love this setting. This is so cool with like the falling sand.
Yeah. And you can go into the wall down here.
Yeah.
Question
5
from...
minutes. Oh, we can totally get it.
Yes. Yeah, we can do it.
Where did that go? Oh, question from Sky Solace. He asks, is the FPS, does it dip below 60 on the OG PS4? I was playing yesterday, and I was totally able to know
Yeah.
FPS drops, for sure. Notice FPS drops. So
Yeah, I was
yes,
fine with it.
is the answer to that question.
Oh, you were able to notice FPS drops.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
For sure.
I feel like I was pretty fine, but.
I am hypersensitive to FPS, like, for some reason.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I feel like we're doing pretty good.
Oof.
Question from YouTube, does this game have split screen?
Oh!
No.
No. Split screen is officially dying.
Oh!
For the most part.
It isn't for Divinity Original Sin 2 on the PC though.
Yeah, you can do that.
Ugh.
Keep in mind that split screen often means like doubling the resource load for, especially for a game like this. So it's tough. It's a tough proposition.
Yeah, it's actually not as simple as I thought it was when I would first started complaining about not having it. But with just how graphically intense these games are.
I'm telling you, man. Consoles, they're having a tough time, which is very exciting for me.
Oh, nice.
James is a scrub, says Iron Sport. Be more specific. At what game? Let's 1v1. You pick the arena. I'll bring the skill.
1v1 me at Monster Hunter, James.
All right, let's do
Let's see how that goes.
Is there any PvP? Can I duel anybody?
Oh, that's a good point.
I would love that.
You can do time trials.
Time trials. So like you're both fighting the same monster, or that's the competitive.
So in previous Monster Hunters, they've had arena modes where they time you to see how fast you can kill it, and you have a set of armor to choose from. So you're not going to get an advantage because you have better armor or weapons than someone else. So it's a pretty good way to judge how good you are. We did it!
Yeah! Look at that!
Guys!
All right!
IGN officially one-shotting Diablos. Diablo!
In what, like 16, 17 minutes?
You must destroy his soul stone and banish him until the next sequel.
All right, well, I can't high five Casey, so James. Boom.
I'll stand in for now. For now.
Yeah, we have 3 minutes left.
In that time, we have a question from Okari who asks, do you guys like the changes to the weapons? Some of them sound pretty powerful.
I think these dual hatchets are amazing. For those that weren't really to catch what I was doing there, so the dual hatchets, they have a demon mode that constantly drains your stamina, and it allows you to wreck. And then once you run out of stamina, if you fill up that bar, you can get out of demon mode and you get powered up regular attacks. So yeah, it's pretty awesome. I'm happy with them.
And in the full game, you can actually get a dash juice, which extends your stamina indefinitely, like I was explaining for the insect glaive, and then you can do that demon mode even longer, which is pretty cool.
Man, I don't even know what to do anymore. We killed Diablos with so much time to spare.
Yeah, we had 3 whole minutes left.
Awkward.
You can mine. You can get... So if you scroll through your items, you have a net.
Yeah. I always wonder what that
capture
does.
net, and you can go capture some birds with that capture net.
Wait, so how does that work? You just shoot at birds?
You equip it. Yeah, you equip it with square, and then you aim and shoot it. But the small birds, not like the drakes. So if you go and kill a small animal, like an Aptonoth or an Apsaros, cast it on, a bunch of carrion birds will come and eat from it, and you can capture those birds. And in the main game, those will show up in your house. And you can do that with all sorts of little critters, like the little squirrel things in the ancient forest. You just catch stuff and let them loose in your house, because that sounds like a perfect idea.
Excellent. All right, we know what we have to do next, right?
Rathalos?
Rathalos.
Yeah.
All right, we got
I got it.
50 minutes left.
My net's not working. Let's see.
Like, we'll kill them, and then the birds will come, and then we can capture them.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
There we
time,
go.
Never mind.
Looks like you failed the quest.
Play again.
A lot of talk in YouTube about an Xbox beta or whether there is or is not one.
R3.
I got it.
R3.
Picture. You got it.
Do we know? No Xbox beta, correct?
Do
No.
we know that?
No
At
Xbox beta.
least, not right now.
I feel like they would have announced
Right,
it. The
this
game comes
beta,
out on January
yeah.
28th, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Rathalos it is. What?
Somebody had a really good burn on Xbox owners,
I hate
but I'm not going to
Rathalos.
repeat it.
Do you hate Rathalos more than Diablos?
Rathalos just flies away a lot, and he's always flying,
funny.
and he's just obnoxious to fight. At least Diablos, you kind of always know where he is, and he's not.
January
out of
26th.
reach.
2-6. Sorry, my
Correction.
bad. My bad. I stand corrected.
All right. What's the loadout going to be here for Rathalos?
Something new.
Something new. I'm with you.
So I'm deciding
I'll
whether
try
to
ranged.
use hunting horn or bow. You want to try ranged?
Yeah, I'll do bow.
Okay. Have you used bow before?
No.
So bow's really cool. You need to really watch your stamina use. So if your stamina starts going down, you have to eat a piece of meat because your stamina pretty much directly correlates with how much damage you can do with the bow. Every time you dodge, your weapon will flash red, and then you can shoot, and it does a little bit more damage. So you
Okay.
shoot, dodge. And you can also hold the R2 button to pull the string back, and you'll have 2 levels of power.
Okay.
And then you can let it go with that, or you can press the circle button as soon as it hits that level, and it'll shoot a parachute of, what are they called? They're little mines that rain from the sky, and will hit the monster, and it'll make them kind of reel back. And then you can also hold triangle and circle together, and it'll slide the arrow on the ground and then shoot it with a really big, powerful attack. But you have to keep in mind that you can't move when you're doing that, and you can't re-aim. So you have a very limited aiming once you start that attack.
As
You
you
got
can tell.
You got all that, Mitch? Great.
Yeah, as
Sweet,
you
let's
can
move
tell.
on. That's the voice of Casey DeFried is there joining us remotely. This is Mitch. I'm James, and we are playing Monster Hunter World here on IGN Plays Live.
What time we got?
We got about 50 minutes. So, I'm disappointed to find out that you have to be carnivorous to use a bow. That's brutal, man.
Oh, you have to eat meat. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hammer. People want the hammer. Oh, well. Too late.
Oh, well.
Too late. Hammer like Thor.
The hammer's pretty cool. I'm not very good with
The
it.
hammer's cool.
Oh, man. Jamie Hoey with the Star Wars spoilers in chat.
Oh.
Darth Vader dies in Star Trek, guys.
Ooh. No way.
That's insane.
That's funny, but honestly, I'm very scared about this next week
Why did
or
I
so.
even bring it up? They're going to be there now.
This next week or so is going to be real bad because I have to monitor chat for.
Keep in mind, if you spoil Star Wars in chat right now, you're getting a firm slap on the wrist and probably a permanent ban from our channel. All right, well, I'm just not going to read the chat for the rest of the stream. Anyway. So, man, that was a
There's
big mistake.
Rathalos.
Look at that, Rathalos.
Look at that hammer. That thing is impressive. Who's using that, Casey?
Ranged weapon you can charge. Focus on your distance while loosing arrows.
All right, shoot some arrows here. Come on.
Hey, it was
There you go. Oh, 3 damage.
3 damage. All that 3
Boy.
damage.
That is a surprisingly small amount of damage.
Oh.
Though Mitchell not an expert archer yet. So it's oh geez, Casey is just getting tossed around like a ragdoll right now.
That's a good old seismic toss.
And so just
And,
like the melee,
Still after me.
just like the melee damage, all of it is zone specific. So shooting in the head is going to give you more damage, right? Oh boy. See you later.
No, Casey, save me!
Bye.
Ah!
All right,
Oh, that's awesome.
Let's go down and find it.
Somehow, oh, okay, I Batmaned it. All right. Let's try some paralysis clothing.
Paralysis clothing?
Clothing
Clothing that you put on that
Coding
makes you
even.
paralyzed. All right, we are here, Mitchell, using the AFK auto shot hunter build. We saw they're very prevalent in Burning Crusade.
Let me apologize in advance. Once again, I've never used the bow before.
It's a little bit of that is a technical weapon that I was explaining before, so it takes a little bit more finesse than the other one.
What have I done? The chat is just exploding with fake Star Wars spoilers about Snoke being made up of a bunch of Ewoks operating levers behind a...
Oh man, fire to the face. One,
So Casey,
two.
who is the worst Monster Hunter player in the IGN office by name?
We would have to do an 8-bit fight
Yep.
and find out.
Yep.
A what fight?
Eight
What
bit?
wait, what is our
Bit fight? I think it's just
Oh,
bit
bit fight, bit fight. There you go.
Yes, bit fight.
8-bit
I
fight.
was thinking
I
of
like
the
8-bit fight
Mega
though.
Man.
Dragon
It'll be a
Piercer.
new series.
Hey, Void Gazer says you gotta fully charge your shots, Mitch. What are you doing?
Boom!
There
All right,
you
there we go.
Jeez, this noob over here. Never used a bow. When does the beta end? Asks James Fernandez.
Tuesday at 9 a.m.
Tuesday at 9 a.m. So tonight is your last night to get in there with your party, and you actually do get things that are going to transfer over to the live game on PS4. Casey, talk me through what those rewards are. Are they?
Sleeping. Oh, never mind. It's not
whoops.
sleeping anymore.
Sorry, that's probably my fault.
Okay. No worries.
So Casey, for those of us who are beating all the monsters, we're getting care packages, correct, for the live games?
Yep. Loot boxes. Oh boy.
What? Loot boxes are not a thing.
I'm
Loot
just
boxes are
kidding.
not a thing,
The
but
monsters,
the care
monsters
packages.
basically are loot boxes.
How it should be, right? Talk me through the care packages. Do you have any familiarity with those?
Care packages?
So I think he means when you beat like the first mission, you get
Blue
a
box?
you get like a beginner set of requisitions, and then the second one you get another set.
Oh, in the beta.
In the beta, yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, so after you beat each of the quests, you're gonna get some items, and it looks to be like your basic consumables, like potions, mega potions, max potions, like a lot of the stuff that the beta is giving you off the bat. And it's really helpful when you don't have any money, but still want to bring some extra stuff with you. I'm sorry, did I just throw someone up in the air? If I did, my bad.
Ah!
So nothing
But-
like beta exclusive armor or a weapon or anything of that
So
nature.
you are gonna get beta exclusive face paint.
Sorry, say it again.
Completely face paint, and it's completely aesthetic. And if you want to see a picture of it, it's on our Monster Hunter World wiki on the beta page. So, like IGN Hunter World beta wiki, that page will come up and a picture of it is on
Excellent.
there.
Yeah, there it is. Look at
Look at that.
that. Look at that. Look at that. There is beta exclusive
Oh,
face paint.
no! Okay.
Getting starter pack consumables. Head start on farming. Cool. Like that a lot.
So Casey, what does like the one where you dodge and then shoot, like what's the benefit of doing that as opposed to like the general power shot?
You get the mobility, and it still does extra damage versus a regular shot.
Okay. We'll go to the ancient forest camp, see if that guy is gonna be going back to his nest.
The face paint looks like it's out of PUBG. Dope.
Yeah, it's like camo-ish.
And what do you need to? You just need to beat all 3 of the missions, correct? For that?
Yes.
Let's see. Usually
Oh, any of the 3
And
quests.
just the main missions. Not, yeah.
Any of them, not all of them. Okay.
No.
Wonderful. Well, here we are watching novice archer Mitchell Saltzman discover how to use bow and arrow. I've actually been doing a lot of archery myself in real life.
Really?
Yeah, there's a fantastic range at an undisclosed location in Berkeley, which it's
Also,
it's the
if you're
best
having a
kept
hard
secret
time-
of the Bay Area.
Did you guys find him, by the way? Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I've just been kind of wandering around. I'm sorry. I thought he was gonna go back to his nest.
Nope. So if you're having a hard time finding him, you can always open up your map and target it with R3, and the scout fly should take you to it.
Just
as long
did
as they're
that.
not malfunctioning.
So yeah, it's very clear if we do not do it on this one, this is absolutely all my fault.
Flashy KC, and I'm gonna replace a verb here. if that's the case, why deprive Xbox and PC of the face paint? I don't know, man. I hate it. Same. And for those of us who are waiting for the PC version, we don't know when that's coming, but it probably is happening. Well, it is happening. It's just a question of when. And honestly, I think that'll be an interesting, just an interesting established thing to see if they are going to take their time and put out a good port. Or if it's going to be a little bit, you know, sometimes you can get these kind of console mainstays as a port on PC and they just don't behave as they should. Time will tell.
Oh no, I just jumped all the way down.
Man, it takes a real long time to eat some antidotes.
Yeah, we were talking about that yesterday. It's like chugging a gallon of milk every time you want some antidotes. It's kind of ridiculous.
And speaking of a gallon of milk, we have a gallon of milk here for Mitchell.
Still on that.
I have to actually get one of these days.
1, 2, boom.
Do all the hunts have a 20-minute limit? Asks Juan.
Oh, that was dumb. Did not mean to do that.
The 5 minutes to an hour long.
5 minutes to say that again. Broke up.
45 minutes.
45.
To an hour.
45 minutes to an hour, usually. And then there's also just a mode where you can go free roam with no time.
Oh,
Yeah.
damn it.
Okay, so yeah.
And you can also choose, if you're in a party and finish the quest, you can choose to stay in the area exploring.
Void Gazer, I'm going to call out
is he
Void Gazer
sleeping?
right now in the chat as the most experienced archer in our chat currently. He's just dropping these hot nougats of knowledge on you.
Oh, I thought he was being.
Well, he kind of is. With the bow, all caps, dodge into the mushrooms on
Into
the
the
trees to do a special
mushrooms?
move.
Yes!
Yeah.
And then you'll jump up and then you can hit
These
the monster and
mushrooms?
mount him.
Yeah, do it right now. Go.
Ooh!
That's
cool.
Was that it? Tell us if we did it right, Void Gazer. You were the expert. Mitchell is but an apprentice.
Okay, so you gotta actually hold on. Let's get that.
I'm actually checking the DPS charts now, and Mitchell Saltzman pulling a whopping 4% DPS out of the party.
I now see why Casey was saying you gotta make sure you watch your stamina. I'll get it, guys.
You
I'll
can't
get
dodge,
it.
especially
Don't
when
worry.
you're up against
Oh,
Rathalos.
that's not good.
Yeah.
Awesome. Sully's
Oh, no.
just mounting that thing every
Oh, no.
5 seconds.
It's the strat, man. It's the Sully way.
That's what the insect glaive is
No!
for.
So, Casey, anytime there's a game like this that kind of incentivizes party play, it's always an interesting precedent to see whether or not you really need to be in a party for some of the encounters, or they're all optionally solo.
There we go.
Is it much, much harder on some of the more difficult fights to do it solo?
Am I doing it?
It is
Wait.
way more difficult.
Damn
So,
it.
like for Rathalos example, when you're playing yourself, you do have your Palico, and your Palico offers some support. But with a monster that poisons you as much as a Rathalos does, you're gonna have to check antidotes all the time, and it takes a really long time. And with how mobile Rathalos is, it's really difficult to drink an antidote and a mega potion when it's not being attended. Like,
Sure.
That's just not going to happen when you're a single player.
Oh,
Sure, your Palico is supposed to help in that
Yes.
context, but obviously not as good as a full party. That's great.
And if you get Rathalos underneath this rocks with vines, it'll fall on him and do a lot of damage. So I'm going to put a trap underneath here.
Question here from the most asked question of the stream. Ernest Hemingwig asks, when is Monster Hunter World out on PC? I don't know. Tweet at Capcom and demand an answer. I want to know as well. I'm very excited to play
I
this,
agree
but
with that answer.
I think I'm going to wait.
We want to land and hit this trap. Oh, he landed. Okay. No, he didn't. Just kidding. Okay.
There it
awesome.
is.
Cool. All right. I'm doing it. Did you get it? Cool. I got him.
So how are you guys making him fall like that?
So right now we just hit him with an environmental trap that was up above him.
Ooh. Deep Brody wants you guys to lay a trap under the rocks, under the boulders.
That's what we just did.
Oh, okay.
That's what we just
Well,
did.
stream delay. Also, maybe it shows that I wasn't paying attention. Whoops. Whoopsies.
I have not seen it on a.
Come on, stay right there.
Aaron Brewer dropping a hot keck in the chat, of course. We all know the origin of that. Tell us, Mitch, what is the origin of K-E-K, keck?
I actually don't know. Do you know?
I do?
Tell me.
Well, I don't know. I feel like that defeats the purpose. So, in World of Warcraft, when you're interacting with the opposite faction, they speak in a different language. And if you were fighting a Horde player, and they typed LOL, it'd be K-E-K.
Oh, okay.
So it's kind of like it's an especially salty laugh, like kind of an elitist. I like it. I love it. But anyway. Next, I'll explain the origin of the phrase leet. Of course, leet, as we all know, is short.
Oh man, we traded there. I'm on fire.
It's always fun.
This archer is getting carried.
Hey, you know what? You guys say what you want. You're absolutely right. But I feel like I helped a lot in that Diablos kill.
Diablo skill, perhaps. B Spitz wants to ask Casey if she knows that you can stack songs now. If that's a thing.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. So you can kind of have them queued up, and then you can pick one individually from the three, or you can play them all at the same time, and then at the very end, you can press the R2 button again to do an encore. So I think
Are we going the wrong way?
Yeah. All right, Sully.
Gotta go, gotta go.
Okay, he's like right next to the northwest camp.
Oop.
On top of them. Oh, I'm on top of the jaggers.
Man, thank God for no fall damage in this game.
But yeah, the hunting horn has been made like much easier to use, and it's really cool that you can stack songs. Cool.
5 minutes left. Casey, be honest with me. What are our chances here? I feel like I'm lost here. Uh-oh.
Well, it's really difficult
Where'd
when
you
you only
go?
have 3 people in the party
Darkness Cave.
to be able to defeat the monster.
I'm just gonna go here. The wyvern, of course, picks me up from inside a cave.
So there is kind of a fast travel-y
You
thing.
found him?
How does that work? Just to track it down.
The fast travel system?
Yep.
So there's a bunch of camps, and I don't know, Casey, maybe you can speak to this about how they're going to be unlocked in the actual game. But in the beta, they're just already there for you.
Yeah, you have to unlock them in the main game. You don't have this entire map the first time you go. I think he's going back to his roost. We'll see.
I use a certain vernacular with Miranda, our editor here, Miranda. Just I don't know why. I just started, but anytime like I'll ask her for a blurb or to capture something, and like she's part of providing stuff for
chasing
features, and I'll just say like so lit, totes lit, fam. She's like, what are you doing?
Right now, demonstrating why Rathalos is such a pain in the ass.
Gina Cole asks, when will this be in PC? I wish I knew. Sorry, oh, I like this one. Ryan Davis says, sorry, PC nerd, beta is PS4 only. Hashtag trendy gamers. Hashtag PS4. Hashtag overpriced, underperforming plastic hardware. Anyway.
James, you can't say that.
Oh my gosh, I cannot
about
find
this.
this thing.
When does the beta end? The beta ends tomorrow at 9 a.m. Tuesday, 9 a.m.
Yes.
Oh, the people in chat are agreeing with me. Take that. Take that. I never understood why the console war is such a serious thing, dude. It's who cares?
So no one has found it, right?
No.
Everyone is
This
wandering
why
around just as lost
Rathalos
as
is
I am,
annoying.
following these stupid flies.
Okay.
There it is.
Man, you really
So if you go to the first camp we went to, it's right by there. It's
Alright.
actually back in its nest.
Okay, so the ancient forest
It's back
camp.
in its nest. Yes.
I actually don't know if I'm further from
Yeah,
that.
it's
Oh, I
sleeping.
see it. Oh no, that's just a random flying thing.
Yeah, go back to the first area we went to. It's up here.
I just want to clear the air based on the chat. There are no loot boxes in Monster Hunter World. Unless, of course, you're talking about the pre-order PS4 exclusive
crap.
Monster Hunter Deluxe, which will give you the full Rathalos. And no, I'm just kidding. There are no loot boxes in this game.
To max.
The progression is very much altruistic in the sense that you need to do stuff in the game to get something instead of buying a
Please
loot
help!
box.
Please help! Please help! Please help!
I'm coming.
Oh, gosh.
I'm coming.
Ah. I exploded its face and now it's mad. I don't understand why. Woo!
Man, this paralysis coating is not doing a lot of paralysis.
You have to hit it consecutively in the face. For
Oh,
that to
okay.
work.
What are you giggling at, James?
Nothing. The comments, man.
People being mean.
Never a dull moment. IGN, would you send somebody who is seasick to review a cruise line? Well, if the cruise line
Oh.
claimed to be immune to seasickness, then yes.
Also, to be clear, I am definitely not reviewing this game. Though, I do like it a lot.
Oh boy, getting to the end of this Rathalos fight, or perhaps close to.
Oh, I just don't do. I feel like I don't do any damage.
Yeah.
I'm all out of my
The
good,
bow, I found.
my good things.
Woo!
Yeah, be honest, Casey, with this. Is the bow a little bit underpowered, maybe? Perhaps. I know it's hard to tell, but
I felt it's a really, really fun weapon. I don't think it's underpowered if you know the best way to use it.
definitely
it
more rough
doesn't
for
do
new
as many-
players.
It doesn't. I found that. Oh hey, we. Aw.
Dang it!
Failed the quest this time.
See, this is why I think Rathalos is annoying, because you're spending half the fight trying to find it. And that's been its MO since the very first game. Everyone press R3!
We got it. Whew. All right. Well, our first fail. Well, I
Hey,
guess.
we can try that again, and Mitchell can use something that he, another weapon. So we can get some damage out there.
Something that's not the bow.
That's a nice way of telling him to get good. Yes, you were correct.
Yeah, using a weapon you don't know how to use is hard. That's
Yeah.
actually what I
You
do.
need
I
to be
tried
good,
soloing
basically.
Rathalos with the bow.
What?
No, I tried soloing Rathalos with the bow yesterday, and I did
How'd it
not
go?
get time with it because I'd never used the bow before. But I felt like I got pretty good at using it, but I wasn't. It doesn't do enough damage to knock it down enough for me to have some time away from it to heal. So I was spending a lot of time running away and healing. Like if it poisoned me.
What's the charge sword that you guys were talking about? Is that the Jawblade, Iron Bang?
No, so the Evergreen Blade is the charge blade, and it's very technical and
Evergreen
hard to
Blade.
use.
All right. Well, it's definitely not a Mitchell weapon.
Yeah, don't pick that up. Don't pick that up right now.
I'm gonna try the axe again.
Okay. Let's see. Should
Steel
I
axe.
do
Is that the switch axe or no?
Hunting
Yes.
Horn again, or should I try
Yeah,
the
I use that.
lance? Do we need more damage output?
Yes, perhaps.
Yeah, I'm gonna use the lance. Do some more
So,
damage.
we one-shot
Alright.
Diablos, but not Rathalos.
Ready.
Look at that.
Yep. What changed?
See, that's
Obviously.
the wrath.
I'm sorry. I'm
I-
sorry,
I
guys. I
don't know.
can't use the bow.
Yeah, people are calling you a scrub in the
Rathalos
chat.
was also flying away for half the time, so
Hashtag real Monster Hunter scrubs.
Yep.
Hashtag Mitch Saltzman 2017.
Hashtag blame Mitch. Man, Casey, I wish you were in this seat.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Okay,
All right.
start it off.
It's really good. The chat is either people at point blank calling you a scrub, or people very politely saying like something like "Sword and Shield is new user friendly." But to be fair, Mitchell has played a bit of this game. It's just don't have experience with the bow.
And we beat Diablos
Yeah, it's a different-
with several minutes to spare.
Yeah,
Yeah, whatever, sure.
and it's just different weapons are just they play entirely differently. It's almost like you're playing a new game.
Yeah, like I said, I liken all the weapons in Monster Hunter to different characters in a fighting game.
Yes. Completely different controls, like different dodging mechanics, just different, very, very different.
All right, I'm gonna let you guys take lead. Bring it down.
All right, I'm going to pose a question to the chat as a whole. Regardless if you're watching on Twitch, YouTube, or you want to tweet at us with the hashtag IGN Plays Live on Twitter, tell us what your favorite monster in the history of Monster Hunter is, whether it be aesthetically or in terms of mechanics. Tell us why, and we'll read some of those here on stream.
Ooh,
I'm gonna guess it's gonna be Tigrex.
what was that?
I'm gonna guess it's gonna be Tigrex.
Well, you can't influence the vote.
Oh no, I didn't mean to.
Self-fulfilling prophecy.
I just wanted to get my guess out before.
You ninja with
no.
the sick parents. The weapons are very different.
Oh boy.
Oh no! Oh no! I think I might be going down here. No, I got it. Nope, I'm still going down. Oh, bye!
Bye, Casey.
Oh my
Got
god,
it.
what have I
Oh,
done to
did it.
myself?
I survived.
I've turned this into a challenge for me to try and pronounce these monsters that I have no experience with.
I know, they're impossible, right?
All right.
You've never heard them before. They're just made up words.
Let's get it going. Fatalis, because every hit bounces, and that's from Icy Pyro 4.
That was the hardest monster in the original Monster Hunter.
Brachydios?
That's a cool one.
Okay, all right, good, I got it.
Brachydios.
Because it's an actual challenge to fight, and because the weapon you can make makes things explode. Let's jump over to YouTube.
Yeah, it has slime, and it has basically, it doesn't have hands. It has two, like, pounding fists, and it licks them, and it glows, and then it explodes.
That was
It does some cool
from
moves.
Sean, and the first one was from Icy Pyro. Let's jump over to YouTube real quick. Tigrex, because it's epic, that's from Julius.
Yeah.
Nice.
See, this is some folks are trying to get me to say stuff. By playing Brachydios, that's from Juan.
Boom.
Lagicris from Jericho.
Guy, Chris.
Oh.
Whew. All
I
right,
need to get out of
stop, drop, and roll.
I need to get out of here.
Seriously, though,
Chaotic
that makes it
I
fun.
need to get out of here.
Chaotic Gore Magala. Magala? From Void Gazer.
Go. Man, there are people just flying around in the air, and I'm just like, I'll wait until you get it down. I mean, can I do anything to hit it when it's in the air with the axe?
Yeah, you should have a backswing with triangle circle that should go high enough to hit its tail. But it's very dangerous.
Oh, okay, that one I see.
Pelagius likes Diablos
Oof.
because Mitch is having a hard time with it on his stream. Lagiacrus?
That
Urigamin?
was the flagship monster for Monster Hunter Tri.
Man, these names!
Oof.
Uh,
Oh, I'm dizzy.
Shagaru Magala.
Dang. Dizzy and
Oh, no.
poisoned. All right, well, I'm on my way back. Don't worry, guys, I'm coming. That's the wrong way.
Sean and Jump says, use the vertical strike when in greatsword mode for switch axe. Yeah, speaking of which, I was using this weapon, and I was starting to get a hang of it, but then every now and again, it would just switch to the other mode without me hitting R2. Because I guess that's just part of the combo chain, maybe? I don't know.
Probably, yeah.
But it felt like it very much interrupted the flow of combat rather than, like, keeping it going.
Yeah, I think that's just one of the things you have to kind of understand why it's doing that. And if you don't want that to happen, don't do it.
You telling me to get good?
Yeah.
All right.
Basically,
Fair
get good.
enough. Fair enough.
Where is it going?
Take some advice from the chat, just like I am. Where's it going? I'm gonna follow you guys so I don't get lost.
Sky Flies is looking me the other direction.
Oh, really?
Ow! Casey!
Casey just stabbed Mitch in the face with a lance. That was really funny. Out of character.
Sorry, I'm putting a marker on it. We're trying to if my map wants to cooperate.
Is it right there? Yeah, it's like right next to the camp, so
Yeah, so it's not letting me pick it.
I think I got it.
Can you zoom?
Sully's on it, so I'm just gonna mark Sully.
All right. Is that it right there? I mean,
I think that's
Oh
it.
yeah,
go for it.
it was right here.
all right, people watching at home,
right.
will you be picking up Monster Hunter World on launch day on November 26th? I want to know. Tell me what platform you're going to pick it up for. Tell me if you have a crew that you're going to roll with, or if it's your first time to the series. And if so, why did this one attract you as opposed to others? I will be monitoring
Oh.
the chat for your response.
Oh my.
Oof. So someone repeat what you wanted me to do with the axe, the upswing, and then
I think vertical slice to switch. I don't know. Mash the buttons, bro.
mash the buttons. Got it. Rising slash, overhead slash.
Sean and Jump says already pre-ordered the deluxe edition for PS4. Atronis says PC anyone? Chris Murph 817 says I have to wait for PC. Me too, dude. We're all in the same boat there. I think it will be well worth the wait though. Mokari says I will play it on PC. Been a fan since Monster Hunter 3, but skipped a few.
Get down here.
Nice.
Matt Big says PS4 rolling with the brothers, one of the best series. Big Bad Andy says, hell yeah, pre-ordered on Xbox. Pelagius is going to pick it up for PC someday, me too. Stevatar says PS4, first time in the series, it just looks beautiful. Velicane says I bought it for PS4 and PC.
Oh.
We got our first Xbox One from... He's going to pre-order it today. I haven't played it since the first gen, but excited for it to be on console. A little anxious about how the controls will work on Xbox, but I'm excited regardless. Snowman Sam says PC Master Race here. So I mean, from this perfectly accurate mathematical poll that I just ran on Twitch that is 100% indicative of the Monster Hunter audience, PC will be the dominant platform when it happens.
Imagine that. Oh,
You heard it here first.
God, gotta get out of here.
Oh.
Headphonic says PS4 because I want to grind, and Destiny ain't giving me my meds. True, dude. Super true. Captain Thor says absolutely getting it on Xbox One. Been playing since try.
Man.
Nintendo says PC because of
I'm
good frames.
stunned. I think I'm dead here. I'm so done. Oh gosh.
So we got a lot of positive. Yes, I am either pre-ordering or getting it on Xbox One. I think when you have a beta that is this good, I think it's getting pretty universally positive praise in terms of the beta. Would you say that that is your impression, Casey? That your experience with the beta has been good?
Yeah.
All
I
right,
guess,
paralyzed.
Some people are disappointed with the amount of content, but there's actually a lot of content if you just do more than 3 main tests. I mean, like, this Rathalos isn't technically part of the quest, but we're still doing it. And then you can test all of the weapons and try a bunch of different armor sets and play around with the capture net and explore. I feel like there's a lot in just these 2 maps, and the first 12 hours of the game are only in these 2 maps. So it's a lot. It's
Sure.
a lot of content here.
Hey Casey, where should I be attacking him? Like, what's his weakest spot? Would you say?
His face and his tail.
Face and tail. Got it.
Casey, you got to play a preview event that was not just the beta. You've had a lot of experience with the game. Tell us some things that we are not necessarily seeing if we have no experience with the series and we're just jumping into the beta? Like, what are some of the parts of the game that we're not seeing in the beta?
So we're not seeing at all the town area and the gathering hub and the crafting mechanisms. So the basic flow of Monster Hunter, you're going to go in and fight a monster and then collect its materials after you fight it. And then you're going to craft better gear with those materials. So better weapons, better armor. And then you're going to go fight a bigger and better monster and do the same thing with them. But some of the items are very rare to fight, so you might have to fight them a few different times. But the fights are always very dynamic, and with 14 different weapon types, you're going to have a different experience every time. Like, you never know if an Anjanath is going to come up and try and fight a Rathalos while you're fighting it, or if when you're up against a Great Jagras, if a Puke is going to come around. There's a lot of variation to it. And it's a lot of fun.
Great,
So
yeah,
really
and of course, anytime that you can play with multiple players, that adds a level of replayability. But certainly liking what I'm seeing in terms of the idea that there's this grind, but moreover, you're getting a lot of learning in terms of developing your skills, and the emergent encounters with the different monsters, and also just learning the mechanics of every single monster. Looks really fun. It's basically like a boss rush, the game, which is really exciting.
Yes.
I have a question. So Casey, obviously you're a big, huge Monster Hunter fan. Would you say your experience with the game comes from a single player perspective, or do you mostly play with people?
So Monster Hunter was actually my first online
Is that what they're saying?
game.
So Monster Hunter Casey's first online game. Wow.
Yeah.
Thank you, chat.
So the original one for the PS2 came out in 2004, and I was a little bit late to the bandwagon in 2005. And I started playing with one of my friends from high school who didn't have anyone to play with, and he had some friends online. And we would always go to the same room every night and all play together, and it was a really awesome experience. Everyone wanted to teach me things and get me to be better, and that was when the text chat didn't have a limited character amount like the Nintendo Wii U Monster Hunter did.
Now, when you say that they were
wait a
telling you
second.
to get better, were they just saying get good all the time?
No. They would help me. Like, there's this one mechanic called headlocking, which was actually kind of a glitch in the game, but you could use a lance to hit Rathalos and Rathian in a certain way to make them stand still, and they couldn't move if you did this correctly. So I had someone like stay up until 3 o'clock in the morning with me online, teaching me how to do the headlocking mechanism. And it was a really great community, and it was a lot of fun, and I really hope that the community gets together here and wants to teach newcomers, because I am assuming there are going to be a lot of new people who don't know what they're doing, and it's really nice to have friendly reminder like, oh hey, I noticed you're doing this with this weapon, have you tried doing it this way instead, and like teaching people the nuances of everything, and because there's a lot of nuances to Monster Hunter.
That's great.
Definitely. Oh man,
Yeah,
stop
I've always
poisoning
played
me!
with Big Party.
Nintendo kind of synonymous with limited social and online functions. They're still very much, they've been constantly catching up in terms of online functionality
Yes.
for it seems like 20 years now. And it's still the case, like with Switch and the companion app, and I understand there's limited hardware constraints there, but I'm really, this is always my biggest reluctant factor to jumping into Monster Hunter was that it was kind of a Nintendo property and only on Nintendo, and that, like for somebody who played World of Warcraft, it just didn't appeal to me because it was light years behind in terms of its social functions. And but anyway, that's not the case. I'm really excited to see the series kind of escape the confines of being on Nintendo platforms. So.
Yeah, and in the main game as well, you can actually create squads, which are basically guilds, and then you can see, you can have your own private squad server, and all just be online at the same time doing quests with each other. And of course, the quests are limited to 4 people, but I mean, if you have voice chat up, you can talk with everyone if you'd like.
All right,
Kind
we've had a repeating question here asking about G rank. This is from PLX, the most recent ask for that question. So Casey, what is G rank, and why is it important to Monster Hunter, and will it be coming to Monster Hunter World?
So G rank was it's just a harder difficulty of monsters. There's regular rank monsters and high rank in the original Monster Hunter, and in the later, I can't remember it was introduced in PSP, but on the PSP versions there was a G rank.
Nice. That is not confirmed yet, but potentially something that could come to the game.
Oh, but anyway, I'm sorry. I got distracted trying to
No
find
worries.
out where to find this thing. They said that a G rank was not going to be in Monster Hunter World.
No
But
G rank in
that there
Monster
was
Hunter
enough
World.
But there was going to be enough content to make that not matter.
Okay, cool.
And they might add it later. But that was also something that they were hesitant about when I asked the producers about that, because I asked about G rank and if they would add it later in a patch, and they're unsure if that would happen. But they'll definitely add more monsters and more challenges in that way.
All right, so more monsters and challenges confirmed for post-launch patches, but no G rank as of yet. Maybe time will tell. And I do think like adding more difficult versions of fights is always awesome, but at some point, if you feel like that's not the
Oh,
best
we got the
content
boulders.
you can be giving your players, then focus on something else.
It sounded like they were very confident that there's enough content and difficulty in Monster Hunter World that they didn't need to also add G rank. So we'll see.
Yep, time will tell. And I'm sure community feedback, hey, if you're watching this and you feel very strongly that G rank should be in Monster Hunter World and you're very disappointed that it's not, like, let them know in a constructive capacity. And if that becomes a narrative or a very upvoted post on Reddit, that's something that they'll get exposure to, and they'll be like, well, the community really wants it, so maybe we should take the time to do it. So it's all, they have a limited amount of resources they're working with, and they're trying to get as much into the game as possible and make the best game possible. So those are decisions they have to make. And if you feel the G rank is like it, let them know.
Oh, I hope he goes into that other trap. We've been doing real good damage.
Content is Burden Jory says G rank doesn't matter if there's enough endgame stuff to replace it. That sounds like sound
Exactly.
logic to me. Andy Mouse, on the other hand, says no G rank, no buy. So
Really?
clearly a very divisive
I
topic.
mean, what if it's just the same? It's just more difficult monsters, but it's just called something different.
Hey, no G rank, no buy, Casey.
I don't think you heard us.
Maybe you didn't get the memo. It's because you're an apologist. Just kidding, just kidding. Yeah, that is,
Always limping.
I'm sure if they added something that was like G rank, they would call it G rank so that the fans who wanted G rank would
Yeah, that's true.
shut up about it.
You guys think he's going back to his nest?
You guys are under 5 minutes here on the Rathalos.
Yeah, I'm gonna go back to the nest.
All right.
Oh,
Can we do it? Definitely feels like a smoother run this
Nope,
time.
it's is it Northeast Camp?
yeah, I think back to where we started. It looks like it's going there for sure. Or below it.
I'm.
We got a question here from Dusk. Asks, anyone know that my graphics card is really garbage, but everything else on my PC is fine? Can I run World smoothly? I'm probably going to say probably not. Graphics card would be the one of the primary metrics,
Ooh,
the other
sleeping.
being CPU
Sleeping, guys.
and RAM. Give me your specific specifications and I'll let
On
you
my
know.
way there.
But like, I doubt this looks like a pretty graphically intensive game, and also it's not a made-for-PC game from the ground up. So usually when you have that combination, you're going to have a greater resource load on your computer in general, not just your graphics card, but you can't really have a weak link for a game like this, I would imagine. Though I could be wrong, but let me know. And when they release official PC specs, we'll obviously know for sure, but just going off of my educated guess, I would say you might want to think about upgrading. Hope that answered your question, Dusk.
Oh man.
Sylvan and Sean both miss paintballs.
Paintballs were used to track monsters, right?
Yes. It would just show the monster on the map, and now it's just once you find the monster, it just automatically appears on your map. So
How do you feel about that? Do you like the added step? Did it make it feel more Monster Hunter-y?
whew, I definitely think it's
Oof.
better. It makes more sense. Sorry, I'm real.
Oh
close down
God!
here.
Save me, Casey!
It's got you trapped.
You're on your own, man.
You're bound to get one.
Oof! Oh, everything's bad right now.
Phantom Crash asks a very interesting question. I think a lot of us are wondering, in terms of Monster Hunter as games as a service type of game, like what What conventions did they subscribe to? One of them being weapon buffing and nerfing. Phantom Crash asks, will they buff weapons if they underperform?
So,
No!
oh, we're
Dang
so
it!
close.
Very close.
Ugh.
Good try, guys. Good
Sorry.
try.
Man.
Sorry, everyone. Let you down.
And this is why I consider Rathalos hard and annoying, because he
Hey,
runs
there
away
you
a
go.
lot. So you're
When
spending a
we
lot of
asked the
time
chat who was
not
harder.
actually hitting him.
Yeah, when we asked the chat who was harder, they said universally Diablos. And the IGN
Yeah.
team able to one-shot Diablos, but
One shot. It only took.
well, one shot
no
shot
good.
is a term. One shot is a term in raiding where you do one attempt and you get it.
Yeah.
But not the same could be said for Rathalos.
To be fair, I had like 10 shots at Diablos
Oh,
when I
you
played
already-
at home over the weekend, and that was like my first time really trying to beat Rathalos.
So anyway, we have 5 minutes left, but I do want to jump back to that question about weapon buffing. Did you get a sense that that would happen? Is this the type of game, or is this the type of game where you have a specific performance at launch and they're just going to stick with that for the rest of the game's life?
Was that a question for Casey?
Yeah, that was a question for Casey if she's still there.
Yeah, I'm sorry. You cut out a little bit there.
Oh, no worries. I was just asking about weapon buffing again.
Oh, okay. So, as far as like from game to game?
No,
if they're
from like,
nerfing
let's
or
say
buffing
Monster Hunter
weapons?
World that everybody feels the bow is underperforming in Monster Hunter World. Would they patch the game
Mm-hmm.
and potentially buff the bow?
So they've never done that before, to my knowledge. But I feel like because this game is always online, and they can assume people that it's not always online, but more people will be connected to the internet than in previous games. So I feel like if a lot of people spoke out about it, that wouldn't be something that they wouldn't completely ignore. They might do something about it, but
Sure.
they had never done something about it before.
Well,
Like I know in Monster Hunter 4, people thought the Insect Glaive was super overpowered, and it was one of the best performing weapons to kill a monster for time runs. So.
yeah, well, it'll be interesting to see all those conventions for kind of this new world, no pun intended. It's certainly on PC, I think that level of fidelity is expected. And if you love the bow and you just can't use it and it's just not viable in certain fights, then I think you'll expect it to be buffed. But anyway,
It's one of those weapons that you have to be really on point with your technique, and it
Sure.
really helps to have a stamina buff. And we didn't have access to those items in this build.
and for the record, I'm not singling out the bow. That's just a hypothetical example.
Okay.
Well, no, as for people in the chat who were just like, get good or use the bow gun or whatever, it's just more.
Oh yeah.
So this is the training area, which obviously I should have spent some more time in.
Sure.
But if there are any weapons that people want to see for the next like 2 minutes while we're just hanging out here waiting for 3 o'clock.
Let us know in the chat.
Yep.
We have
Checking
a
out the
question
hammer
here
right
from Valkian who says, could you ask Casey about how high ranks will be introduced?
So that's something that I was not told specifics about, and that I did not get far enough in the game because we were barred from going further than 4-star quests. So I assume you will hit. It is a part of the story, though. It is not something that is beyond the story. So apparently the story is very long and robust and includes high rank quests as well.
All right, there's the answer for high rank, part of the story, but the story is much, long and robust. So hopefully that answers your question. People want to see...
From what I've been told.
Sure. People want to see the Charge Blade and the Insect
Charge
Glaive.
Blade.
So let's get those two if we
All right. I've never used the Charge Blade actually, so I'm just gonna take a look at these
There's a lot
combos
of stuff
here.
to do with it.
Two forms. Sword,
So we got.
store
Let's just
energy
beat up
in a
this
bowl,
thing.
then release it through the
And I also just wanted to give another shout out to our party members, Peaches1X, that's Clayton. He's one of our freelancers here. And you can find him on Twitch on Peaches1X and also Sully. He's not super active on social media, but he is on Instagram with Sully Paints.
Sully
Because
Paints,
he paints.
a fantastic artist and a
Boost sword
good
mode.
hunter as well.
Yes, they're both really good hunters.
Awesome. All right,
Man,
let's.
this sword, I don't even understand what's
happening?
going on with this weapon.
All right, we have 1 minute left, so let's actually just get the. Where did it go? Insect Glaive out super quick.
Oh my god. All right.
Do a combo with that, and then we'll wrap out.
I got.
Hold R2 and press X, and then press X again and circle.
Is this for the Insect Glaive?
Yeah, that's for the insect.
All right.
So we got a pole vault before we dip out.
Yeah, I've never seen that charge sword before. That's insane.
All right, while this is happening, I just want to shout out some of the content that you can find on IGN that is very good about Monster Hunter World. You can go to IGN's YouTube and basically just search for Monster Hunter, but some of the top videos that I would recommend are...
The insect blade is a close-range
Let's see,
weapon
there's
that lets you control
5 minutes of
insects.
Tobikadachi, your 17 minutes of full Puke Puke quest. There's all the monsters so far, all the armor so far, and this is from the October build that we got to use, and also 47 new changes. Let's see, what else is there?
Great. Yeah,
There's a
so
lot
that
on there.
some of the things to know before playing Monster Hunter is something that UK team just put together, the 17 minutes of Monster Hunter World gameplay, and that is specifically Puke Puke. 47 changes that only fans will notice, which I think is a really important video because this is a big transition for Monster Hunter World. The full preview, there's some Mega Man story trailers, so head on over to IGN's YouTube and just search for Monster Hunter World, or just search Monster Hunter World IGN on YouTube, and you'll find some of that great content. Casey was a big part of that. And Casey, thank you so much for walking us through some of the fights and helping us kill Diablos.
Yeah,
Do you also want to hit up
setting this
Alex on Slack?
Sorry, say that again, Casey? Oh,
Thank
that's
you
right.
so much for setting this up so I could be on here.
No worries. I just realized that nobody is here to switch us out.
Usually I would be on the other side of the camera
Help, Alex.
doing all the outro
We
stuff.
have to stop.
So we're actually stuck here.
Yeah, we're gonna be stuck here until Alex gets here. So actually now we have to think of more questions.
Yeah. What any other weapons? This was the insect glaive rather.
Oh, okay.
I really want to try this.
There you go. Whoa, look at that.
Another cool thing about the insect glaive is that the kinsects are now totally separate. So the insect that goes with your blade, you can also customize and choose different insects.
So what's a kinsect?
A kinsect is that beetle that you throw out with your insect glaive. And
Okay.
you throw it at different
Look
parts
at that.
of the monster,
That's
and it brings back different buffs.
That is so cool.
So what are these
So once
purple
you have
flies
all-
that
Yeah.
appear?
So that particular kinsect will inflict poison damage onto a monster if you stick it on them.
Here we go. All right, Casey, thank you so much for joining us. Of course, you can find Casey on IGN. And what is your Twitter, Casey?
My Twitter is ShinyKCD. It was the username I was using.
ShinyKCD. You can find her there on Twitter, and she will be tweeting a lot about Monster Hunter as well as doing more content. Mitchell Saltzman, where can people find you?
You find me at Twitter or on Twitter at Jurassic Rabbit, Twitch at twitch.tv/Jurassic Rabbit. You can see all my scrubbiness in Monster Hunter World
There we
all
go.
over there.
You can follow me at Thuggin' ThuggNDuggn for complaining about Destiny or sweet plays in PUBG, one of the two. And for all
both.
things, yeah, probably both. For all things Monster Hunter World, you are already the right place here at IGN. Thank you so much for joining us.
Bye bye.
Thank you.